rabbit. Do they even have rabbits in Australia? I don't believe it. Yeah, they look like rabbits down there. Coco? Yeah. I'm with it. Coco Chanel? Coco Melon is in the show? They're ahead of its time.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Hope you guys are having a great morning so far. Hope you guys are having a great week as well. All right, hope you guys are sitting back. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. Hope you have like the pen pad or pencil in hand. We're gonna start sketching today. And so, what I think I'll probably do for today, I could sketch another cartoon character some of you might be familiar with, which is Bowser. So right now I'm gonna start with doing a light gesture sketch. Just get his overall pose in. And right now what I'm doing is getting a very light sketch to get his overall pose in, just get the overall shapes in before I start refining it. I think I'll have it hunched over, kind of like a scheming position.
This is like the awkward situation in the grocery store you run into where you're trying to go in a certain way and then you kind of have to like do a little theater in the hallway to walk directly into people. I just don't even deal with the problem. I go right into people and then I usually knock them over and their shopping cart just to look over. Steal all their shit and they have to go through the store again. Whoa, this looks sick. Cool. Why can't all actions
Get his horns, get for his head.
Oh my god, no! Oh my god, he's killing! What? No! Oh my god, he actually fucking... No fucking way! Oh my fucking god!
Get his arms.
No! Oh! Yeah, that's the animation. Sorry. Not funny. I like this character. He's dead. That character that we like, he's dead now. Man, well, as long as they got like our hard drive, they're still good, right? Reboot her. Are people like not confused about the fact that like Penny's a robot? I was under the impression that wasn't public knowledge. This is ice cream. This is my ice cream. He's that. Bring them to their knees. Who?
Let's get his body, his little torso.
I mean, he is. He does look pretty nice. Like, I'm not gonna. Oh my god! I get him my knees for him. Dude, Penny's fucking
tail.
She's fucking dead. I hate the Russian girl. She's such a shit villain. She's no personality. She's boring. And her voice sucks. Yeah, her entire personality is just being Russian.
The white thing is here.
Like, who the fuck holds their phone sideways while they're
Let's get his other leg here.
Give them still picture. Get him, Sean, save your girl, man. This is your time to shine. Call for the first mouth. Yank didn't do it in the first episode, but it's your turn. It's your turn, Sean. Like the thematic next. Ninja's here. So is the monkey. Other characters that are not very important. Characters that I remember. Oh,
Adele! I'm so sorry. It wasn't your fault.
It's like already over it. No one gives a fuck that Penny died, bro. I'm so pissed.
And also we can't forget his large Koopa shell.
More pressing matters at hand. They need a new Instagram thing. Like, that's more important. Okay, look at this gun, man. There's literally blades on where you hold the gun. That's like the worst design of all time. He's gonna use this triple ultra robot attack. Yeah. He's going to take it back. What should we do? Shoot him. Shoot John. Except for me. I'll laugh at being a pussy-ass little bitch. Why is Tumblr guy still alive? He should have died 2 seasons ago. Look, I don't disagree, but I support it because he's like the one villain with personality. True. I disagree with myself. I retroactively.
All right, since now we got the overall gesture done, let's start refining our sketch a bit, shall we? So what I think I'll do is I'll go ahead and start, with his head right here. Let's start putting in his face. Let's start getting in his eyes. And since his head's kind of cocked to the side, we're not going to see all of his left eye here. So it's going to be just a bit slimmer compared to this one. We'll also draw his big eyebrow because he has really big, bushy eyebrows.
This is why Ruby got mad. Oh, dude, I just got spoiled. She comes back. Sorry, you have to correct yourself there. We just got spoiled. You spoiled us. Oh, remember this?
Let's get his irises.
That's going in my fridge compilation, bitch. What the fuck is that? You're gonna turn into Lola Bunny. Oh my god, please turn.
Let's get his little snout. And see it kind of goes up and kind of a little curvy bulbous area. It kind of goes, it comes down.
Why does she have like ghost swords? What the fuck is this? It's like she can copy other people's swords. Oh, that's fucking cool. It's like emblematic about how like Australians.
Let's get his little mouth. Now let's come back down and draw his little muzzle.
That's the thing that her sister was teaching her that she can master. So it's like it falls through. Why are you? This is not the time to be taking pictures. Penny died.
Just at the bottom of his lip.
Ruby, eat this girl, man. Just ice cream. Oh, no. Dude, Ruby is getting her ass handed to her right now. Imagine losing to the Onceler and just a bowl of ice cream. Like, that's rough. And those are also the most compelling villains in the story. The Onceler and a bowl of ice cream.
Let's get the horns.
I kill teenage girls. That's the way.
Also, let's get his spiky hair.
Okay, Ruby's good again. Remember when Ruby like killed one of these things pretty easily? He just exploded. Why are they fighting? What's going on? They're not fighting. He's gonna
Let's get his little collar here. Now let's work on his arms.
Oh yeah, they're not corrupt anymore. Someone's done the impossible and getting control of my machines. Dude, they put a fucking phone into your thing that wasn't impossible. Like they literally just installed chess, and that was they overloaded your system.
Let's get his little armbands here.
Destroyed your entire infrastructure. I think you gotta get some like security. We did it, guys.
Because he's got two. Because he got one on his forearms and one on his biceps.
Look, the campus is really big, man. The campus is so big. This is horrifying. This is just Captain America, but it's like Captain Underpants instead. Because I'm trying to see her underpants. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you're saying. This is like Captain America, but Captain Underpants instead. Yes, okay, there's a problem with that, Jack.
Where are you?
Let's also get his other arm here.
One day he'll get these slightly larger glasses. One day. Maybe it's the JJ State movie as well. Who knows?
Let's get part of his other arm wristband here.
The evil juice into fire and become evil.
He's thickening his arm up a little bit here.
What? Sean, you fucking dumbass! Sean, you're supposed to fucking Russia. Sean, no, what's happening? What's happening?
Let's get his little torso here.
Oh, that's what I did. Thank you to the commenters, by the way, because like I've known
In fact, let me kind of draw. He'll go down, go on his little curve. Since I drew his tail right here, let's draw his little coils all the way down to the bottom here.
Oh my god, I was gonna say, if she just fucking died like that, I would be so fucking pissed. I would be so fucking pissed. I would be so happy. If she died there, they'd have to change the name of the fucking show. Yeah, it'd just be Rui. Who do you guys think's gonna die? I think there's one more person that's gonna die.
There we go. Let's get his leg, his big stubby legs.
This is the new episode of Death Battle, guys. Gojo versus Blood. Full Metal Alchemist. Ew, are they not gonna like give her medical treatment or something? Her arm? They put a couple bandages on it. One or two.
Okay, I think I have Linda's number.
How did you get her number? He's a milk chaser, dude. Oh,
Let's get his toes, because he's got 3 toes, 3 sharp, pointy toes.
You saw how powerful she is. Pira, I won't let you do.
Oh I had to make the first one. Dude, this is like callback to when the bully did this to him. It's like
There we go. That's looking pretty good.
She's gonna fucking die. And Sean, no, that's the only girl that'll ever love her. There's a fucking loser. Sure. He's not Glenda. He's gonna rebound. He's already dialing her at this point. Like, he's already over. Like, all right, I'm gonna rebound. Fire up. Time. Stop calling her Fyra. That's not her name.
I have a plan. Always do.
Does she always have a plan?
So I can render out his shell.
Opposite of the truth. This is just really intense. I don't know what to say. Say the alphabet backwards. C, Y, X, W. That's W. Is that all you got? You got it. B, U, T.
Just a thick outer layer of shell here.
Oh my god. Lust, don't kill Lust like that. She's too hot to die. She wasn't the first time. And Ruby killed this girl. I don't want Pyra to die. Oh, hey, she got some hits on her. Dude, Ruby, why are you even bothering fighting the NPCs? Just run past them like in Dark Souls. It's not
Let's get the larger part of his shell here.
What? Ooh, arrows after her ass. Yikes.
Might be a little bit. That might be looking a little bit too big. Let me try and slim it down a bit.
Ruby, do something. Ah! Oh no. Ooh, yeah, he's dead.
And also let's try to draw these little cone-shaped spikes. Because while he's got these little horns on his head, he's also got the horns on his spikes. It's got on his tail too, so we're gonna render all of those out.
Who is this guy? Is that her dad? No, this is the dad. Oh, they gave him the model now. Okay. Oh. It was a little unclear because last time someone was literal PNG.
Doesn't sound too bad, but it keeps attracting more grim to the school.
Would you say that the situation is grim? Core, I am so emotionally distraught after this last week.
The spikes on his tail here.
What? You think you just revealed about this outrage? Telling you in, man. Telling you about.
You're special the same way your mom was.
Ruby's not following you. Ruby's like, you're gonna have to say that way slower. Like, too stupid to keep up with you. Why does she have toys? There are toys of the evil things plaguing the planet. That's fucked up. You have one arm. You think Ruby makes lots of.
Sorry if I sound a little tired today. I actually just woke up not too long ago. Meant to start up a little bit earlier. A few technical things I have to take care of, but I'm actually on and I'm ready to go now.
What is he saying? Like, this is. Oh, she's depressed because she has an arm. I forgot she has an arm.
See the little spikes on his arms.
It is actually one arm. That's like the passage of time, like how things change. No, that leaf symbolizes. You see how it's one leaf falling step two? That symbolizes the fact that Yang only has one arm. That's Sykkuno the
Get one here. Get one here.
Sykkuno, yay! Oh, they're going to find Blade.
Let's draw his little scheming fingers.
Dad. Ruby. She can't write. I told you. She doesn't know how to read. You never even got to find out who won the tournament artistly. That's kind of fucked up. You guys would
Normally, details such as like fingers and toes, I tend to save those for the very end. Because I know those are usually for me like the hardest ones to get just right.
We've been watching. Giga, we asked you for your opinion, not for a self-introduction. Hey guys, Giga kid. Giga, shut the fuck up!
All right, I think we're looking pretty good, of our actual rough sketch here. So you can see now it actually looks like our well-known Bowser character here. As you can see here, even though I did kind of use a few references, decided not to like follow too much. I kind of add a little bit of my own style to it. Yeah, but I thought I'd use a little style from the original games, but also use a little bit from the movies too. The one that just came out not too long ago. So let me see what else I can do. Let's go and start refining our sketches a little bit more. Just make it more to make all our lines more distinct. Let's bring his mouth out a little bit more. Let's bring out his bottom lip. Let's get his eyes. Let's bring out his spiky hair just a bit more. Let's bring out his horns. And see, this is why I started light pretty early on. Because once I start running all the more finer details, I can go in a little bit deeper. Bring his stubby legs, make those a little bit more pronounced. We render his belly out here a little bit more. Let's get his other foot here. And even though I'm using like a few references to draw this, I'm not relying on them too much. Because I kind of want to add my own flair to this guy as I'm drawing him. Do I want to come down a bit? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think I'll just bring it back out. And also another thing is this, whenever I'm sketch, I tend to do a lot of my decision making like here early on. Like here for a show, I decided to kind of shrink it back down. But I figure I'll just bring it back out so at least be big enough, support his body. So let me bring it down here, have it curl around his leg a bit here. Just add a little bit of spikes on the back of his shell. Get those nice looking good. Let's get his tail here. All right, I think we're looking pretty good here on sketch. So now, what we're gonna do now, instead of going any further, with this red pen we had here, let's start refining it with some black, with our black pen. I felt partly inspired to draw Bowser Days as earlier in last week I have drew both them Super Mario Brothers because I was inspired by seeing that new movie, and I thought I really do want to draw Bowser too. So let me go ahead and draw for the stream here. Because I saw it in the whole movie in theaters not too long ago. I found myself really enjoying it. And funny enough, I actually hadn't went out plan on actually seeing it the night I went out. I actually planned on going to a concert, that night, and I went to go see it. But the concert I went to go see, it sold out completely. So I had to make a change of plans. So I figured, let me go see a movie since I'm out and about. And I thought to go see the movie, and I found it really enjoyable. It's definitely the best movie I've seen Illumination do. So Illumination, I've always felt, their films have been always can be kind of the same thing. They've always been a little bit schlocky. But this I found really enjoyable because, it actually matched the games. It was fun. It actually really matched the style of the original games too. Voice cast is excellent, especially Jack Black, as Bowser. I almost didn't recognize him at first, but he did a fantastic job. And I'm just going over all the main lines I've already set out, in red, just going over them black. And, prior to starting on this drawing, I did kind of brief couple rough thumbnail sketches, just kind of get the overall gesture. Like this picture, one I ended up going with right here. There's a few others I had done, but I don't have them with me right now. But I always find, with doing when you're actually sketching and actually drawing, more finished, more polished pieces, it helps to have a good thumbnail sketch on hand. Just kind of do one very quick and rough, so that we can play out the sketches. See, what poses work for you before you start on the real thing. Because I feel, it takes away a lot of guesswork. It takes a lot away of figuring things out when you get down during the actual thing. There we go. That's looking pretty good for his little wristbands. Let's get this other one here. This one's kind of tricky on this right here because you can see, his arm is kind of bent at an angle facing towards us. So we're not going to really, so it's going to appear like it's foreshortened. It's not going to appear, as long as this one right here. Let's get little spiky horns here. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry about that. The undersized little tail here. Let me see. Let me see. See if I can get his little. Let me see if I can get his little scaly plates. All right, looks pretty good. So you can see now we have overall line work for Bowser done. So I can turn it just a little bit more. Bring it over. So I'm gonna go ahead and do now. Let's start adding in a little bit of shading. So I think what I'm gonna do is actually start the side of his face here. I'm actually gonna use, the blue section. You could actually think about this little ballpoint pen I'm using. It has 4 colors. It has 3 colors. It has green, blue, which I'm getting ready to use just right now, red, and black. And I found, this pen to be really perfect, more for sketching. Since I got 4 colors here I can work with. And right now I'm going a singular direction, just making very singular marks. Just going around the shape of his muzzle here. Just add a little more shimmer shade on the bottom of his eyes. Let's get his little horns. I actually am planning on coloring this guy in later on in the stream. So definitely watch out for that. Actually stand by, hang on for just one moment. All right, here we go. And we're shading on his little hair. Yeah, but I really enjoyed the movie. It was probably the second movie I saw in theaters. Like post pandemic. The other one being Bad Guys by DreamWorks. And funny enough, it was probably the first time I actually saw with a crowd too, because I remember quite a number of people came out to see it. And it felt kind of good, being able to go to the theater and actually see, with other people. Whereas, with when I saw Bad Guy, I was the only one in the theater. That was actually a first for me in a long time. Go to movies and I'm actually the only person there. And while I didn't mind that, sometimes you do get a different experience when you see, with other people. I know not everyone's not really comfortable with that. People have their own preferences. Some people want to see it at home in the privacy of their own house. But some people want to have the camaraderie and see it with others. And it felt pretty good, being experienced that, for a little bit. It really did feel good. Just get around his little fingers here. Let's get his other arm here as well. I think after a while, like once I started, like really putting my shadows, I'm gonna start darkening them more and more as I get further along. It's kind of dark underneath his eyebrows here. I start running out his belly here. I'm not gonna worry about the black lines I made. I make sure I'm thick enough so I'll still be able to see them. Because another thing I will do is like once I'm better colored this in, I'll probably get another black mark, like pen to kind of bring some of these lines back out once I color them in. Let's go the outer rim of his shell. And yeah, I'll be honest, like I honestly did not recognize Jack Black's voice when he voiced him. If I wasn't recognizing that first, one until he started singing, that's when I knew it was him. Hey Russell, how you doing, man? Yeah, he's honestly becoming one of my new favorite characters too. Because funny, I never really played the games all that much, but I've always been so familiar with the characters, but especially him. Especially him. So yeah, Russell, I definitely agree. He starts shading his other leg right here. And as I'm shading, I'm basically just going one single direction around the shape of his leg, going all the way down. And once I've gone down in one direction, I usually go back over again in the opposite direction with a cross hatching effect. me darken this just a bit more. So I'm gonna get his other arm right here. Sorry, not other arm, other leg right here. Gotta make sure that's shaded in nicely. And the movie I want to go see the place sale. It's actually a local fair here in town. Actually, had quite a number of people came out to go see it. So that's why I was surprised to find out that apparently it's doing extremely well right now. But yeah, I definitely really enjoy it. Probably, I think that movie's probably it's the best video game movie I've seen in a while. It's definitely the best movie I've seen from Illumination. Illumination's films were bad. Just the Illumination stuff, they've always felt kind of safe to me. And at least this one, I seems like it took more chances and it'll be a little more adventurous. Now, I'm hearing talks that they might be doing a sequel to it, which I definitely think they are going to make a sequel to it. Considering how much money it made, they're definitely going to make one. Let's get the underside of his tail right here. Get that looking nice and good. Yeah, because once we're done with the shading here, we'll be getting ready to color this pretty soon. Yeah. Yeah, I actually meant to kind of start the streaming a little bit earlier this morning. Funny enough, the other reason I think I ended up I'm starting late because I ended up going to sleep a little bit late, so I ended up waking up a little bit late. I know if not later on today, definitely tomorrow when I actually finish this. I definitely have posted up as like a YouTube short. Because for those of you that don't know that are watching these streams, like, on top of these live streams, I also post like little like short videos as well. So I post them on YouTube as YouTube Shorts. I can post like little reels on Instagram. I'm also posting on reels on TikTok as well. And usually when I do like these like shorter reels, like I won't really change them up that much. The only change I'll make maybe like some small edits here and there, like post edits. Sometimes I'll change up the music. That's depending how I feel about the video, or if that song's actually available on the actual like streaming site. Let's add some shading on his little spikes. All right, I think our shadows look pretty good. Let me just refine them a little bit more with some extra shading. Then I'll go back over with the red just a little bit, just to give it a little bit more life. And since I've already gone pretty deep with the blue for making these shadows, I'm not going to go too deep with the red. Just driving to Stone Mountain, got your live up in the background. Oh, cool, good. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream, Russell. Yeah, Stone Mountain's a pretty long drive, at least long drive. So, yeah, have a safe drive out there, okay? Yeah, usually when I'm working on something, especially when I know the point where I'm actually liking how it's turning out, especially when it comes to shading, instead of making a lot of like major changes, I found myself making a lot of like nice, like fine adjustments here and there. Because of all the main things that I wanted to get done, I went and took care of those early on. This is why it's best like when you're sketching, which is in the beginning process, you do a lot of your problem solving early on. So that way you have less problems to do near the end. Because early on, if you're able to catch them, you can actually make the changes accordingly. Like let's say if the shell's too small, like I had to adjust that early on, so I went and fixed it early on. Or in other cases, if the eyes are too big, or adjust the size of the legs. It's kind of like construction in a way. You want to make sure you have a good foundation before you start building up on top of it. Otherwise, you'll be sinking off really lopsided structure. But yeah, this is pretty much how my sales will be looking at going forward as of right now with my streaming services. Is that I'll most likely be streaming, on Saturdays and occasionally Sundays around this time between like 10 and 12. I think like not all the time I'm not gonna always start right on 10. So I just want to give myself a range so people will know this time I'm most likely be on air, and ready to go. Because I wanted to pick like a good time that works, best for me as far as actually like schedule wise, but also a time where I feel most people, will be able to actually come out and actually like watch on these streams. Because prior beforehand, like I was actually doing, on Thursdays and Friday nights. It works fine, but it's at the end of the day. It's after I've taken care of errands. And of course, as of right now, my new job, like since I tend to work pretty late on those days, it doesn't really not as practical anymore for me right now. So I figure, doing, Saturday and Sunday mornings, it's a kind of a new thing. I think that works best for me so far. Let me just get around his leg again. Just kind of make darken these shadows here. Here we go. Let me add some more adjustments here and there, down here. Just darken the shadows here, here, and there. All right, I think we're looking pretty good, as far as our shadows here. And so now is going to be the fun part. We're actually going to color our guy in. And so I'm deciding, like, what type of medium do I want to use? Do I want to use pencil? Do I want to use marker? You know what? I think I'll go ahead and use marker. Since he's got reddish hair, I'm going to go and start coloring in with reddish hair in first. So I'm just going to start on the outline, just coloring in the outer perimeter. Just start coloring in the lines. Coloring the shape of his eyebrows. Color those in completely. I'm trying not to be too heavy as I'm laying the color in with these markers. Since I did a lot of these shade before, and there's no need to go too much in, I'll go back in with this crimson colored marker here. Because one thing I also know, these ballpoint pens, I know it will actually start blending in with the markers once I start putting out, because these are alcohol-based markers. So these tend to blend together. All right, there we go. That's looking pretty good. Now, what part do I want to start on next? You know what? Let me start doing a shell. I think I'll start with a lighter shade of green. Color around here underneath his arms. Got color in his shell. Let's get his tail right here. Probably could have left that. Probably left that blank as is. You come back a little bit darker green in some areas. Come around this top of the shell here. Do for underneath his eyes. Underneath his shell here as well. All right, that looks pretty good. Now let's start coloring the rest of his body. I'm gonna be like an orangish color. Let's see which ones I have on hand. So let's start with our brighter colors here. So I'm gonna start with the like main spikes. Color those in yellow first. And since the ballpoint pen, from looking at now, it's starting, since it kind of blends in with the markers very easily. What I'm doing is, as when I'm coloring these, I'm actually kind of starting to edit where there aren't any marks. I'm slowly working my way towards those marks and kind of letting those blend together. I actually have a spare piece of paper on the side to kind of wipe away marks that end up being made on the marker itself. You get the lightest portions, of his arms and body here. Just colored underside of his tail here. These colors are kind of a little darker than I expected, but I can always go back with some color pencils later on, kind of brighten them back up. That's one thing that will happen sometimes, when drawing. Like sometimes they won't always turn out the way you expect. So a lot of times we have to do, at least what I have to do, is that you have to kind of do a bit of problem solving to kind of figure out, what are things you can kind of make improve it, what things you can make it better, what are things you can do to kind of roll with it, and just make it work. And then sometimes there are rare cases where you might be kind of start from scratch and just start over. But luckily with this one, I have no plan on starting this one over. And see how a lot of the marks I made with the ballpoint, they're kind of starting to blend in with the markers. That's just what I was hoping to do. Now, Grant's doing it a lot more than I anticipated. Just kind of blend like these two colors. I'm mainly using a mixture of yellow and chrome orange as far as blending these colors together. So, I'm definitely glad I went and added some extra red for the shading. At least it brought some warmness back into the shadows. Yeah, because normally like, when I shade, I tend to use a lot of like browns and purples rather than straight up blacks. I know with some pressure artists, they'll say nowadays that you shouldn't use straight black for shading. And grant, while I agree with to a certain extent, I feel there's certain times when we can use it. Like if your work with colors are already pretty dark to begin with, that are like blue or green, I can see using it there. But you're dealing with like bright colors, like say with yellow, orange, like really warm colors, you really want to avoid using black. Black is it's very powerful color to use because it can get things really dark, but also it can tend to dilute and actually like desaturate the color. So if you're more concerned about keeping the actual vibrancy of the color you're using either browns or purples will do that. Oh, stand by, hang on for just one moment. Let's color his other arm here too. Yeah, because we'll be almost done with this drawing here very soon. Let's go back in with the yellow a little bit more. Go back here. I'm going to do it here. Do it here as well. Definitely here. Here we go. That's looking pretty good. Now, give me just one to get a different color. All right, let's go ahead and color, his muzzle. So in a light peach color. Peaches. Yeah, a nice peach color. All right, that's looking pretty good. His color in his horns. Using a lighter peach color here. Probably go back over another light yellow with these horns just a moment. Because I don't want these to blend in with his muzzle too much. And color the underside of his belly here as well. Yes, let me go over these horns with kind of a light yellowish color. This isn't the same yellow I use, for his skin. This is actually a lighter one I'm using here. I'm actually gonna add just a little bit here so it won't blend in with his muzzle. Color in his toes. There we go. Here we go. That is looking pretty cool. Hang on. Stand by. Now, the last thing you do, let's go and color, his little wristbands, spiky wristbands. Use like a cool gray, just to color them in initially, because I'm also gonna have some shading with these too. All right, now let's kind of add shells here with the black. Shading his eyes. And add the shadow underneath his feet here. Shouldn't his teeth here. All right, there we go. All right, so one thing I'll go ahead and do now, since we're almost done, let me start refining some of our lines we made, with some some different like pens, some regular drawing pens instead of the ballpoint pens that I used. And normally I would start off with this. We'll at least go start a little early on with actually doing the refined ink work. But since I'm kind of working from a ballpoint pen sketch, I think I kind of switch things up, see how they turn out. Here we go. Now that we got our thickest lines out, let's go to little thinner lines. Let me see, where is the pen I had? Okay, here we go. Here becomes my ink where I usually sometimes I'll start out thin and then I'll go thick. Other times the reverse. I'm just gonna bring back all of our lines. So we have the plates in a shell. Sorry I'm not talking as much. Normally when I'm in the final portion of the drawing phase like this, I tend to do a lot less talking because now I'm really looking at trying to find any things that need to be fine-tuned. All right, let me see. What else can I do here? Yeah, a little bit extra shading around his little mouth here. I think I'll warm that up. And these are all like little tiny adjustments I'm gonna be making here since we're pretty much almost done with this one. I just want to make a few tiny adjustments here and there before we start to wrap this up. Plus, since I have to have some extra time today, I figure I'll go just a little bit longer than usual. Because usually I try to get these done probably within like an hour and 10 minutes. That's usually the amount of time I normally have to do these streams. But other times, say for example, like today, since I have some extra time on hand, I'll go a little bit longer. Let's add a little bit of color back to his horns. There we go. Okay, good. That makes them really pop a bit more. And see, sometimes, like right now, even just making tiny little adjustments, it can really make a big difference. And that'll be the thing that'll happen whenever you're drawing stuff. Sometimes you'll think you're finished, but then you'll see something that'll pop out at you that you want to go ahead and actually deal with. In fact, even when I finish this, it'll probably be something else that'll pop out at me that I need to actually take care of as well. But that's the fun of it in the creative process. You'll sometimes find things that need your attention, and you want to try to correct them. little bit of yellow here. We add some white, kind of brighten it up. Brighten up his little underbelly just a bit. We brighten up his shell. Just go back in a little bit of red up here for the hair. And also, guys, like I mentioned on my other streams, yeah, this isn't the only place where you can come see my work. So I also post pretty regularly on my DeviantArt account. That's Reggie J Workshop. Same goes for my Instagram. I post regularly on there as well. I occasionally post on Tumblr. And I also occasionally post on Twitter as well. But DeviantArt and Instagram are a place where I regularly do a lot of my posts. Use this light green kind of brighten up his shell back up. Kind of really brighten it back up. See, I might make the shells a little bit too dark maybe for the shell, especially some use a green color again. See, that's why you gotta be careful on what colors you want to use to shade, because sometimes they can desaturate the colors you have and can make them just look a bit too murky. So I just want to kind of use some of these colors I got to kind of, brighten them back up. Then I'll use some blue here for some backlighting here. Because I'll probably give like a nice like kind of bluish shade to the background. use some more extra. I think I'll use some of the extra blue here, kind of blend in some of the shading around here. There we go. There we go. All right, so I think I'll do one last thing here. Let me go and kind of do a nice little wash on the background with this light blue pencil. And we'll actually be finished for today. So you guys, I hope you all really enjoy me doing this stream. This is probably the longest I've done in a while. But this one was really fun to work on. I'm really pleased with how well this one turned out. I honestly hadn't meant for it, to go on, this long. Actually, let me just darken a little bit here. Darken a little bit here as well. All right, guys, I think that'll be it for today. And once again, thank you for joining the stream. I hope you guys really enjoy watching me draw this as much as I enjoy drawing this as well. And I'll be back again. If I'm not back tomorrow, I'll definitely be back next week, right on the same time. Hope you guys enjoyed yourself and have a wonderful, wonderful day.